That's a big part of it. But at the same time, we've been talking the last 4 or 5 games or so of just maintaining our habits, especially defensively, and how we manage the puck, special teams habits, those kind of things, power play, penalty kill. So those kind of things, no matter who's in or out of the lineup, we expect to be at a high level at this point. But obviously, the most important thing is to get through the game healthy and compete at a high level. We'll spread out the minutes and we'll get guys, guys that obviously haven't played a lot. They will get an opportunity to play more tonight, and that's a good opportunity for them to show what they could do with more opportunity. We think we are going to need a little bit more out of our depth guys when the playoffs begin, just because of the pace and the physicality is so high.
So we know exactly where the Toronto Maple Leafs stand. We know that we know what their lineup's going to look like, and as we just heard from Sheldon, what he's looking at. No surprises there for you.
I don't think so. It is going to be different to see him, how he deploys this roster tonight. He said you're going to see some guys that don't normally get as much opportunity. Looking forward to seeing David Kemp play 22 minutes tonight. I don't know if that's your type of hockey game, but I am curious to see who's going to play a bunch. Like, is Simmons going to play 20 minutes 2 days before playoffs, 3 days?
I am. The one thing when I watch their lineup tonight, the one thing that I'll scratch my head on is that at no time did you want to rest any D.
Yeah.
Just
7D tonight.
And 7D tonight. And where you are most vulnerable, I think, outside of the obvious, and that is Jack Campbell doesn't play well, is that blue line.
Yeah.
And it's better. It's deeper with the pickups of Labushkin and, of course, Gio.
Yeah.
But you want to play 7. Well, if you're worried about getting out healthy, then why are you leaving one depth guy out there to possibly get hurt?
Well, and I think, that's a good point. Yeah, that is where they're weakest. I'm curious to see, too, like, might we learn their pairs tonight, you think? Like, if they play 7 guys, presumably one of those guys is either going to take shifts as a forward, like would Justin Hall play on the fourth line?
No.
So they're just going to pound?
I can't see that.
Right, me either.
You don't play that card for 81 games, but now you're showing it in 82?
No, you're right. So you're going to pound Joey Anderson and Nick Abruzzese out there for God knows how many minutes and I guess run the defense through. It's so crazy to me that they're still unsettled about which is going to be their 6. I don't know. Going to be interesting to follow the lineup decisions as they get closer to game 1. And I wonder if they're still waiting to figure out who they're going to play before they make that sort of decision.
Well, that brings me to my next topic here is, okay, we know what the Leafs lineup looks like, but where is your head right now if you're Bruce Cassidy, Don Sweeney, and the Boston Bruins? And where is your head if you're John Cooper and Brisebois in Tampa Bay? I'm curious now, what kind of lineups are they playing and where do they want to shift the energy to?
Yeah.
Are you playing to win tonight, or are you playing perhaps to avoid a certain opponent?
Yeah, and like as a player, and you would know this, like I don't know that you can turn it off as a player, but you can do it as a coach and GM. You can put out a worse lineup, or you can put out a worse power play unit, or
100%.
But as a player, you just play. Like
I know, but you are really skewing your chances of winning if you sit out Stamkos and Hedman tonight. The same with Patrice Bergeron and Pasternak.
Great point. Yeah.
So what are you guys doing? Okay, Boston, will we not know
who they want?
Just based on who they dress tonight?
And let's say they don't dress those guys, which says they're willing to lose and okay with Carolina.
100%.
Will they say, look, we were going to rest these guys. We wanted this one. We were just always going to rest those guys.
No. Yeah. No, this is about me personally. My feeling is that both Tampa and Boston on a wish list want Carolina, not the Leafs.
Yeah. Do you think they think Toronto's a better team, or is this the pressure and the hype?
I think they think that their best route is through the Metro division.
Yeah, that's what it is. See, that is such a big part of this is maybe you see Toronto and Carolina as equals. But if you get through Toronto, then you're left with Florida or,
Correct.
But if you get through Carolina, here's the Rangers.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that to me says both teams would, in a perfect world, love to go against Carolina and not through the Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at Carolina right now, you still think you may be seeing their third string goalie.
There is a lack of belief, I would say, from people I talk to that Freddie Anderson, even if he plays, in his ability to just power through this and be the best version of himself
it is
in crunch time.
Eerie similar.
We've seen that movie before, right? With Freddie Anderson injuries in the playoffs. We've seen
Yes.
that movie.
Just 12 months ago.
Yeah.
And is he healthy? Is he not healthy? Is he ready? Where is he? Did Carolina not say something about a week ago thinking that the pictures came back negative and, we're now in a position of when Freddie feels better, he'll come back, which he never did last year?
You cannot leave Freddie in a position where he's just like, wait till he says he feels good. It's almost like, and I don't want to speak to the man's character, but it has felt over the years like having a built-in excuse or something, a crutch is, I don't know, maybe he's just been really unlucky. I don't know.
I don't know. Or he's just one of those guys where the stars have to be aligned completely to go in there and play. And that seldom is the case for any athlete.
Yeah.
And then there's Ranta, who every opportunity to be a number one goalie, the guy ends up getting hurt himself.
Yeah, that guy can't stay healthy. And so, yeah, is he great when he's in? He's usually pretty good. But no, I would think that Toronto's goaltending situation is obviously a question mark too. But yeah, Carolina right now, they got their issues. So
that to me changes a little bit of the vibe
for tonight.
Well, no, yeah, going into game one. If in fact both clubs feel like they don't want Toronto, they want Carolina, which I don't think we would have ever thought in November or December.
Right. No, that is different and would be a nice statement for the Leafs. But again, a lot of that is the, like in the batting order when a guy gets walked when they don't want to face the guys behind you. It's like for Toronto, they don't want to face Toronto mostly because they don't want to face the guys behind them. But yeah, curious to see who dresses for Boston tonight. Maybe we'll find out while we're on air here.
All right, I think we got one more of Sheldon Keefe reflecting on the Leafs season. Let's listen to Sheldon.
We knew we were going to be in a very competitive and tough division, where to the point that we felt going into it and even making the playoffs was going to be a challenge, going into the season. And we really solidified ourselves after a tough start, solidified ourselves amongst the top teams in the league, had a terrific November, and really kind of launched us onto great things. So I think when I reflect on it, you can't help but be proud of the work that the guys did to put us in this position in a very difficult time in response to last season with some changes to our group. The work the guys did, the number of players we had that had career seasons. There's lots of really great things to feel good about with what the team did.
Curious how you feel about a coach kind of, I don't know, assessing all the good things that just happened in the regular season. He was asked.
Well, how many other coaches would come out and praise that much?
Do you think there's more pressure to do that here in Toronto?
I don't know about Toronto in general, but this is just based for me on that whole philosophy of the Kyle Dubas, Sheldon era, where it's we care and we're not scared to show we care. And the only other comparison I had earlier was Daryl Sutter. And it's like that old school, tough love, you guys haven't won anything until you've won something. And Kyle and Sheldon are going to try to do it this way.
Yeah.
And whether or not you're old school mentality with tough love that grows, thicker skin, that shows more resilience, or no, we can do this by by patting everybody on the back and making everybody feel good. I don't know where it ends up. Is it Sammy going to be bitterly disappointed again in 2 weeks, or does Sheldon and Kyle say, yeah, this is a new era of managing your players?
Well, I know that's been the attempt, right? We've certainly seen them try to create that, and there's a belief I know from Dubas, like off the ice, and his whole thing. He always used to say, "Wear whatever makes you feel sexy." It's like wear whatever. You got to express yourself, to be yourself, to be the best version of yourself, and I believe in elements of that, particularly in relationships. I don't know if when it comes to sports, it's the best way to go about it. Like, I had a junior coach who was an ass kicker. And I was maybe not the most initially devoted, committed guy. And he definitely got more out of me than someone who had said, just keep doing your best, kid, would have.
Really?
Some people need a kick in the ass.
Yeah. Interesting.
I needed a kick in the ass. And I'm wondering if in sports, we're learning that it's great to have people feel comfortable and know that they're supported, but also performer, you don't get to play. It's a job. And that hasn't happened. So it is going to be a contrast. We'll see, you see guys like Daryl Sutter who tend to run into a shelf life of sorts.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he has success.
I can't tell you in today's game with today's players. I just know the way I grew up, and it was similar to your situation, where sometimes the feeling for an athlete is either, and it usually starts with a parent. Let's be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're a kid, you're on the ice. The first place that you're looking for reinforcement is your mom and dad.
Yeah.
And
I have way too much support. Mom, you could have yelled at me a few more times.
I
could do no wrong, Kipper. Get in the car after just being a dog, -6. Great game.
Yeah, my dad was right there, too, with your family. Yeah. I mean, we could lose 10-1. Want to go for a hamburger? Okay. Johnny's on Vic Park? Okay. Yeah. Because the loss wasn't that bad.
Yeah. The next day you weren't quite as hungry as the kid whose dad was cruel, but
no, you have to you have to walk home with your bag.
Yeah. No, that was a different story for some people.
Get up off the floor, stop playing with the dog, and go to school.
The one time I give it to my kid, you guys end up listening to that and recording it.
I know Kipper's soft as baby powder on his kids. That's
my
I know this guy already.